first, I would say, real ask of her.
Well, 2 trophies in the bag now for London. Their aim is for their
the last time I could feel that power in my hands. Beat of the drums rushing through my skin.
The players celebrate wildly. A tremendous performance. Tries again. Oh, and he scores on the buzzer. Deep three. Oh, and he hits it.
Welcome back to a raucous Emirates Arena in Glasgow, where we've just seen London retain the WBBL trophy. And so we're on to the men's final now. Will Cheshire double down and repeat last year's success, or will the hometown fans see their dreams realised? The Cheshire Phoenix out to defend their trophy title against the Caledonia Gladiators, a club with huge ambitions, seeking their first piece of silverware in 20 years. It is a jam-packed arena and an all-star lineup to get you set. Drew, Mike, and Kieran join me to preview this one. Once again, Drew Lasker, another red-letter day for British basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. Who would have thought that these two teams would be here 3 months ago? But life is about opportunity, so when you get it, you better pounce on it.
How big an advantage is this home court crowd going to be for Caledonia today?
All right, listen, we're up north, we're in Scotland, this place is packed, sold out crowd. They're going to be fired up for their home team today.
They're going to be fired up. The man next to you is definitely... Are we going to be able to handle watching the game with him? Are you going to be able to keep calm?
I am very composed. I've seen what's happened in finals numerous times in this organisation, so I'm staying even keel.
That's an interesting point, isn't it? When we were talking about pre-game, that is going to be in their heads, isn't it? The fact that they have been on tilt when it comes to major finals.
Thankfully, there's only a couple of players that have experienced that, you know, and I'm sure Gareth Murray have got the guys kind of focused, enjoying the moment, living it up. Good, probably went to sleep in their own beds last night as well, so all those home comforts are hopefully played for their advantage.
Let's remind ourselves on how these two teams made it here to Glasgow and the final. There's no doubt that Caledonia provided the surprise result of the competition by beating the London Lions in their quarter-final before avoiding a potential upset of major proportions against NBL opposition Derby in the semis. Cheshire, well, they got their defence underway against another NBL team, Nottingham, before they beat Surrey in the quarters, and then a spirited Sheffield side in the last four matchup. So despite that Sharks loss, Mike put on a brave face, headed up to Cheshire to find out just how important repeating a trophy final success will be for the Phoenix.
This is a community club like no other. I'm here to see how the Knicks Nation are gearing up to defend their title up in Glasgow.
Cheshire Phoenix, the 2022 BBL trophy champions.
Here we are 12 months later, a repeat appearance. What does this mean being back?
Progression. You know, I think the club's doing a lot of really good things at the moment. Off the floor, you know, we're going strength to strength. You know, our crowds are really good at the moment. I think more or less every game over the last, 5 or 6 home games has been a sellout. You know, it's our intent. We want to be in these finals. We want to be at the top of the table. That's where we want to be.
Top road getting to the final. How do you think the team's playing at the moment?
Yeah, we're going in the right direction. After that last game against Sheffield, I mean, a team that's got better throughout the year, we managed to hold them off. Obviously, we were at home, we had our fans, but yeah, I feel like we're going in the right direction.
What's your predictions for the trophy final?
Oh, it's going to be close. I don't think it'll be as easy as it was last year. I think we will take it by 2 points.
What do you reckon? Do you think we're going to win? Yeah, we're going to win. Absolutely, we'll win. We'll smash it.
One of last year's players, Larry Austin, was MVP of the trophy final, back this season in a Cheshire jersey. How important is his captain role to the club?
Huge. Fans love him, we love him. So he's a really special player for this organisation.
Here's Austin again to the basket.
Back-to-back appearances for yourself, and will that make this game easier for you?
You know, it's a blessing. Just to be able to go back-to-back is great for our club, you know, for the community around us, and, you know, for the guys here. You know, some of them, it's their first time going to a championship. I think it'll be great, you know, but we also have guys with championship experience, so I think a collective of that would be great.
Talk about the experience of heading into your first final.
Again, I'm excited. You don't want to be part of the team that loses it right after they won. So, you know, just excited for me to be able to have my first one, and then, you know, Larry and some of the other guys to get a chance to repeat.
Fans will recognize last season the sea of green. What do you guys have in store for us this season?
Yeah, so we wanted to change it up a bit. So when we walked out into the arena, and you just seen our big block, that was special. So we wanted to repeat that, but not with green. We've gone with yellow this year. Our away kit is yellow, so that's what we're going to be playing in the final. So yeah, there'll be a lot of yellow this year.
You've recently just become a father. Congratulations. Will your brand new baby be at the game cheering you on?
Yeah, I'd really like her to be there. I was just talking to Coach Ben as well, obviously. He's got a newborn, so we're kind of discussing ways of getting them there safely and making sure they can enjoy the experience without it being too overwhelming for them.
Obviously, you're heading up north to Glasgow. Glasgow playing in front of a hometown. How will that affect the game, and what are you expecting from the Gladiators?
Caledonia are a completely different team at home to away. However, I mean, a little play on words that we are the home team for the final because we are the highest seeded team from last season. So that might have some sort of impact on it, but I know that we're taking a lot of fans. I think we may even have more fans than them there. And look, it's a one-off game in an arena that they don't play in, week in, week out. It's a new venue for both of us.
What an achievement this will be if the Cheshire Phoenix can retain their BBL trophy title. And if they are going to do that, then this man is going to be front and centre. If you want high energy, intensity, physicality in the backcourt, he is unmatched in the BBL. He's the heartbeat of this Phoenix side, isn't he?
Well, speaking of heartbeat, if you cut his chest open, you'll see Pitbull because he's a dog. Relentless, aggressive, and fearless. Love this guy's game.
You look at the stat leaders in the BBL, he features in almost every category. He's in the top 10 in assists, he leads the league in steals, top 12 in scoring. He's even, Mike, in the top 20 in boards. He's everywhere.
Oh, he's everywhere. Yeah, like we said, he's the heart and soul of this team. And when I see him, he just plays with that chip on his shoulder. He's aggressive, and he brings that team along with him.
Marcus Evans was brought in earlier in the season to kickstart the offense, Kieran. Has he delivered that?
He definitely has. You know, a volume shooter who can get to his spot and score in a wide array of ways. So, yeah, great pickup for the Cheshire Phoenix.
And the fast break offense of the Phoenix is very much their MO because Larry Austin leads the league in steals. This guy is second. Now, Jamel Anderson is one of the best defensive players in the BBL. In fact, he's a three-time BBL Defensive Team of the Year representative. So what will Coach Thomas be looking for today, Kieran, from him defensively?
Just setting the tone. Like, I think if it goes against like a Bailey, for example, or on West, really just kind of walking up, making it so difficult for them.
All right, the reigning trophy champs, the Phoenix, looking for back-to-back titles, standing in their way on home court, no less, the Gladiators. We're going to get into them in more detail in just a moment. take a closer look at some
rim protector on the defensive side. So he's been a great pickup for this Gladiators team and really picked it up in the second half of the season.
Al Durham comes into the game in great form. He racked up 20 against Surrey, 22 against the Riders on our Sky Sports game last Friday. So he's very much the hot hand right now in the Gladiators side.
Yeah, when you look at the Gladiators, you think about their fast break points. Durham's one of those players who can create instant offense on that fast break, really attacking, changing direction, running at speed. It's a great addition to this Caledonia Gladiators team.
It's an easy slip. Prince Onwas, you called him, Drew, the biggest piece of this Gladiators puzzle, didn't you?
Yeah, he's the sticky fact, the glue. He keeps this team together because he makes winning plays, and he's the type of player you want on your team.
All right then. Talk us through, all three of you have played on the biggest stage, big finals like this. Drew, what's going through your head as a player right now?
A little bit of nerves, butterflies in the stomach, but as soon as that ball is thrown up, all bets are off. It's time to go win the ball game.
Okay, I think it's fair to say, I can't imagine many people, even present company notwithstanding, more passionate about this Gladiators Cup run than Kieran Echara. So who better to get the inside story on this terrific cup run from his former teammates than Kieran?
So I just want to congratulate you for trophy final here in Glasgow. How are you looking forward to that?
We're obviously happy that we're back in the final, a chance to win some silverware.
Playing in a trophy final in front of a home crowd at the Emirates Arena, is that something you take for granted?
Yeah, I mean, it feels pretty good. As G said, every year when this trophy final comes along, we always say the same thing. It would be great to make a final at home.
We're happy to be playing in our home court. Hopefully there'll be 6,000 fans there coming to watch.
You know, you want to be cheered on right in front of everyone, to know that it's in Scotland and that we're going to have a massive crowd here. And if we can do this off in front of our home fans, it makes it, you know, even more special.
And it's been 20 seasons since the last win. You were a part of that final, I believe, and the fans. Your brother got to lift that trophy. Is that something that's talked about?
You know, we know that there was a playoffs 2003. I was there. My whole family was there. There is something a little bit poetic about it being 20 years onwards, and we started the season as the Rocks. There's still a little bit of linkage to that. It all comes together quite nicely.
We talk about the Caledonia Gladiators, formerly the Glasgow Rocks. Gareth, you've been there through that whole change. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the future plans of the club?
You know, we were the Edinburgh Rocks, the Scottish Rocks, then we come to the Glasgow Rocks, now the Caledonia Gladiators. It's really exciting time for the club right now. New ambitions, we want to have the best facilities, and we've got to thank Stephen, Alice and Timothy for bringing the hope for the Scottish basketball over the years to life, really.
And to see these dreams essentially turn into reality, we always have to reflect back on the past. The strong core of the team comes from Falkirk Fury, through your dad, through your brother, what he's meant for Scottish basketball. You know, mentored me, Fraser Malcolm, Ali Fraser, who are part of this Caledonia Gladiators. Do they look at that and say, we've helped build?
Everyone knows what he's done, like whether it's myself or yourself or Ali Fraser or Fraser Malcolm. Like, you know, my dad and my brother worked tirelessly, but he's done so for the last 30 years. So they love the fact that we're representing them in some way. You know, my dad laid the foundation for pretty much all of Falkirk basketball. My brother was the kind of workhorse that saw the talent. None of these players are really here without my dad and without my brother.
And Johnny, you've taken on the captaincy over the last couple of seasons. What does it mean if you think about your journey and reflecting on the past and you're now going to be captaining in a final?
Yeah, I mean, it feels pretty good. First time, like I said, 10 years ago we made it. I was in that team and I remember the game very well. Lost to Worcester by 7 or 9 points, something like that. So these things stick with you. It's a great kind of personal feeling that I now get to hopefully lead this team to a title.
This is your first year as head coach. You know, you had a player coach stint for a couple of seasons. How does it feel to be behind the clipboard calling instructions from the sideline?
It's obviously different for me now being only on the bench, can't step on the floor, trying to play the best defence I can, make the great decisions, but now I'm on the sideline trying to get the best out of the guys when they step on the court. But I'm really looking forward to the team playing in a final.
So your opponents for the trophy final will be Cheshire Phoenix. Gareth, you obviously had a little stint there. Has anyone been picking up the phone telling you to go a little bit easier on their guys?
No, that relationship's not really there like it was. It's war when you step on the court against Cheshire, as always will be. But no, I think Cheshire Phoenix themselves, they've had some success over the last few years. Last year they were in Glasgow and they beat London in the trophy, so they'll be coming up pretty confident. Benefit for us, obviously, we play very well at home, so let's hope we come with that same aggression, same style of play that we play on our home court.
Fans of all generations getting ready for one of the biggest games in years for this franchise. Kieran, in any final, players are going to feel pressure, but it's the home court and the height and the expectation levels here in Scotland. Is that a positive, or is it potentially an issue because it adds to that pressure?
We'll see at the end of the game. No, but I think it's a huge positive right now. Talk about brand awareness, growing the sport. You know, we always talk about growing the sport, inspiring that next generation. What a better opportunity to do that as here in Glasgow.
I'm interested in your take on the familiarity with a day like this, a game like this, with some of this Cheshire side. Obviously there's been flux and change year on year, but a number of the players that we're going to see today won this trophy last year. How much of an edge is that?
Yeah, I mean, Larry Austin obviously here last year, but other guys on the team with a lot of experience, Jamal Anderson, Will Neighbor, all guys that have been in this arena before and had that experience. And that's such a key thing when you come into big games like that. You want to say that you've walked this road before, and that gives you that confidence.
It is incredibly close when you look at the team head-to-head. Statistically speaking, some of the key numbers are almost identical in scoring, dead level on defense. So these, Drew, are two teams at a very similar level.
Yeah, both teams want to play fast, and they do it in different ways. The Phoenix want to do it by creating live turnovers, and the Gladiators want to do it by getting out on a fast break. So for me, it's going to come down to which team is going to be able to score more layups.
All right, we're almost ready for showtime. Big man, you ready?
Ready to go.
I bet you are, as is this packed Emirates Arena. It is going to be electric in here. And the Gladiators looking to bring the glory home. Tip-off is coming next.
It throws it in off the glass. Sloan with numbers, dumps it off to Onwas, who finishes well.
These Caledonia fans looking for their first title in 2 decades. The Phoenix, well, they're gunning for back-to-back trophy wins. The BBL Trophy Final is ready to go, and so are Ant Rowe and Dan Ramage.
Thank you very much, Nat. We've been coming to this venue for 10 years. It's only the second time that this club has got here as the Scottish representative. Can they do it today, Ant?
Well, it's a mixture of nationalities, but it's the same league and everyone has the same goal. They want to take home this BBL trophy. I'm intrigued.
Let's have a look at the starting 5 for today's game. One of your old teammates, Jamel Anderson. Nobody's got more big game experience than him.
Well, he's been in these big game moments for over a decade, so look for him to play and play that pivotal role on both ends of the floor. Larry Austin Jr., the previous BBL Trophy MVP. Let's see what damage he can inflict on this game.
At the other end of the floor, we've got guys like Sloan and like Bailey that we've seen this year put monster numbers on the board. They could do with one of them today.
Superstar numbers from both of them. Sloan, look for his scoring. What Bailey are we going to get today, though? We've seen him have some incredible performance, and then others where they're less desirable.
Well, the 2 5s are out there, and we are ready to go. The 2023 BBL Trophy Final is underway, and it is the Caledonia Gladiators who get the first possession, and they're all on their feet here, or most of them. The regulars at the Gladiators games, they know they'd stand until their team scores. It's usually in the small hall next door, but can they do it in the big room? Well, it's a turnover.
Oh, Teague's going to be going up early as well. We've got to watch for him. He has really good anticipation. He's an all-defensive player in his NCAA Division I, and we've seen him have those super quick hands looking for every steal.
Well, turnovers for both teams to start us off here.
Well, it's not uncharacteristic. As we said before, when you play in a final, your adrenaline's on 100. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the brain and the focus to catch up.
Here's Onwas. Sloan. Ali Hodgic trying to hand off. 5 on the shot clock. Crowd chanting it down. Sloan trying to fire over Neighbor. That is short, and that didn't hit the ring. So that'll be a shot clock violation.
Oh, really difficult offense again by the Caledonia Gladiators, and you see a lot of action at the top there. They're looking at handoff, which is not making the Cheshire Phoenix work particularly hard on defense. They're rotating well enough where they're not allowing any gaps. So Gladiators are going to have to look to penetrate and exploit those spaces inside.
Anderson. Didn't stop him going. Another turnover. Scrappy start. Both teams struggling just to get a shot. There's been one shot in the game in over a minute to play.
Well, and just to visualize that, majority of the arena are sitting down now. They're no longer waiting for the first basket to go in.
Well, there's been one shot and it didn't hit the ring. The mine go in. Almost another turnover. Ali Hodgic able to keep possession. Backing down, using his strength. With the hook, off the mark. And rebound Larry Austin. He's going to go north-south very quickly indeed. And last year's MVP lays it up. And a goaltend is the call. There's the first points on the board.
Well, we just saw back-to-back strengths in the team. So that's Larry Austin Jr. attacking the rim. We're going to look to see. They're going to look to get him in those spots a lot. But also Ali Hodgic going against Will Neighbor. Ali Hodgic significantly larger, but he's more stronger and accustomed to playing on the block.
Well, once the ball hits the backboard, you've got to leave it alone until it hits the ring. That's why that was called a goaltend. Here is Sloan. Shot clock getting low again. Sloan's going to have to heave. Top of the key. Misses everything again.
Another good defensive set there from Cheshire. They're active, and Gladiators not really getting anything easy. Not even a jump shot. That was heavily contested.
Well, Mike Tucker's joined us in commentary. The Cheshire Phoenix fan, apparently, according to the sign in the crowd.
Let's just make this clear. I am a Sheffield Sharks fan through and through. But much love to the Cheshire Phoenix fans. They've come out here in numbers, and obviously, there's about 9,000 or so Gladiator fans in here, so they're shining their light.
Sloan trying to be direct here, going down the lane and trying to get his team on the board. 2.5 minutes in, don't want to have not scored as a team in a big game like this. And we've talked a lot, we've heard it, Mr. Peter, I heard a lot about the old 20 years and all of that. There's been a lot of heartache in between that playoff final win and now, and obviously for some of those fans, they will have seen a lot of that heartache, so they won't want their team to get behind early on and not score as they have done here.
No, exactly. And, you know, these opportunities don't come around that often, right? You know, this club has waited 20 years to get back here. Obviously, the final being in Glasgow as well. This is a special moment for this team. So you have to see these guys really step up today.
Neighbour draws the foul, and Will Neighbour, he's another one who's been here a few times before. Obviously won the trophy with London City Roars, was a runner-up with Plymouth as well a few years ago. So he knows what it's about on this stage.
And that can come in crucial when you've got individuals that have been through this, they're battle-tested, they've lifted the trophy, and even to a degree, people that have just had experience in trophies and had a heartache, you know, that experience really does pay dividends. You know, you see at the moment, Caledonia Gladiators, they look like the new team. David Sloan, he's an 80% free throw shooter, he's missed 2 free throws. So all these things are compounding here. The quicker that the Gladiators can get on the scoreboard and settle the nerves, the better.
Well, there's still a few of them standing, 3 minutes in. Onwas trying to get them to sit down. And there is the first score for the Gladiators.
And what a great shot there to break the ice for the Gladiators. Onwas, the defender, dropped back, and he just said, I'm going to knock this down. Onwas, the glue guy for this team. He steps up and does the dirty work when he needs to.
Harry Hodgich almost coming up with a steal, but it just allows Austin to do what he does best.
Well, speaking of experience, is Austin Jr. there. Prime example of his performance last year, and he was excellent as well in the semi-final. You knew what this meant to him, making this final and winning it.
Well, it almost felt like that experience of being here and winning that last year has been the fuel that has driven particularly Austin, but Cheshire in general.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you get a taste of silverware and what that feels like to experience that, it drives you more. It's addicting. You want to get back to these spots and you want to win that.
Well, nobody in the history of this competition, which goes all the way back to 1987, nobody's ever won back-to-back MVPs, but Austin has certainly started like a guy who wants to. Sloan knocks down the mid-range.
And that'll be an encouraging sign for all of the Gladiator fans in here and watching at home. Their leading scorer, the most talented offensive player, one of the most talented offensive players in the league, getting a jump shot to go.
Evans penetrates, kicks. Teague putting it on the floor. Teague with the jam.
Wow. Teague getting off the three-point shot, which he likes, for a better shot all the way to the rim. Nice dunk finish.
It's almost stolen away. Teague's going to get the foul. He had to go after the ball there, and he just couldn't quite get it, but he did catch Bailey in the process.
Wow, both of these guys going after it, brave, but it's that thing, isn't it? Whoever gets there first.
Well, Teague making an impact there and making an impact here as well with the drive to the basket. Cheshire up 5 as we approach the midpoint of the opening quarter. Stolen away by Larry Austin. He's driving straight to the hole, and he will lay it in. 6 early points for Austin.
Such a tough take, isn't it? You know, he saw the defender there, but he used his body and was able to finish with his left hand.
Well, Austin, we've seen everything he does in the ball game already. Deflections, steals, taking it to the rim.
He is that complete player, isn't he? The energy that he sort of injects into his team is contagious to a degree as well. He's a lead from the front, and here he is. Anticipation was excellent, and he saw Onwas chasing him down there, but his body, used his body really well. Onwas doesn't have a chance of reaching that without fouling.
so good at creating turnovers in the open floor, live turnovers that always lead to fast break situations down the other end. That's something Caledonia has got to be careful of today, is creating turnovers at the top of the key with their guards. You've got to take care of the ball.
And in finals as well, you don't typically get a lot of fast break points because the game is that even more so intense, even more so hard fought. So you get a lot of the half-court battles, pursuing. But if Cheshire can get some easy points on the open floor, that's what they're best at. That's certainly a tough ask for Gladiators.
Austin just losing the handle. Ali Hodgins trying to come up with the loose ball and does. Onwas now sees a lane to the basket. Can't quite fill it for two. Evans numbers back for Caledonia. Evans bails out of the shot because it was going to be blocked. Bailey is out in front and Bailey will duck it home.
Wow, good defensive set there, and Bailey, again, good use of his body. He's able to get in front of the defender, Jamel Anderson, who, again, doesn't want to foul early, and Bailey finishes.
Result. Evans again, very direct, taking the foul from Onwas.
Larry Austin, just aggressive, just always downhill, always looking to create an opportunity for himself. Such a good job in driving and finishing, and if he can't finish, he's going to force that ref to make the call.
If there's one word you'd associate with Larry Austin Jr., it'd be aggressive, wouldn't it? He has got that. Nothing's really like, low tempo from him. Everything he does is with such force and aggressiveness.
And we talked about it in the pregame. He's a guy that is just pretty much on every leaderboard with stats. He's somewhere in the mix. He's always, doing something good for the team. Such a positive impact for this Cheshire Phoenix side.
Austin converts the free throws. And he's going to get his first breather in the game. I don't think he'll get too many. But he's certainly made an impact in the early stages with 8 of his team's 14 points. Bailey zipping it into Sloan. Sloan challenged but tipped home by Ali Hodgins.
If Sloan can keep attacking the rim, good things will happen because that's where Caledonia have got the advantage. They've got Ali Hodgins, they've got Patrick Tappe, they've got size and strength there to mop up any of those offensive rebounds.
Archibald getting it to Jack. Jack driving in, blocking foul is the call. And that is on Onwas. That's going to be his second personal foul.
Oh, and that hurts the Caledonia Gladiators. Almost taking off his second foul. He's been excellent for this team this year, and there was question marks of him coming into this game. He'd rolled his ankle in a fixture just a week ago, and it looked like a pretty bad one as well, but I guess it just personifies his toughness there and ability to shake anything off, even injuries, to be here today.
First one is good for Maceo Jack. That first point on the board always feels good in a final. Sloan. Kicked out to the corner and Malcolm. Shot clock at 6 as it goes into Ali Hodgins. Oh, great work. Oh, and the tip from Bailey, not quite. And Cheshire managed to scramble it away.
And David Wu playing some earlier minutes than usual because he's going to have to match up against those bigger bodies down low, and he's doing a really good job so far, especially on that last play.
Well, that pass a little high, but it pulled in. Mid-range jumper off the mark and Sloan with the rebound. Bailey, transitional three is way short, but kept in play. Blocked by Ulf, and this time Cheshire come up with it.
Incredible job by Cheshire protecting the rim. Nothing easy down low.
Evans transition three. Ali Hodgins is out in front. The pass was a bit deep. But he's wisely disposed of it.
Smart play there. It's not often you see Ali Hodges in the open floor by himself, but sensible pump fake there from the experienced veteran. Gets the defender to fly by him for the easy finish.
Some might call it cherry picking.
Ulf taking it to the rim. Now in the open court, Caledonia. Cheshire able to recover. Sloan driving in. Finding a gap in between the defenders, and he will shoot two.
Just an incredible change of pace there. The crossover was low, was quick. And what it did is it got him in between the two defenders who have to foul. I think he got fouled twice there on that trip to the basket.
This is a Gladiators team that they just don't waste any time. They get the ball up the floor as quick as possible. Obviously lead the league in fast break points, but they're trying to get as many opportunities at the rim as possible.
Well, Sloan, who went 0 for 2 first time around, makes the first of 2 free throws here. Both free throws, and for the first time, he will sit down, replaced by Johnny Bunyan.
Both coaches looking to distribute the minutes and making sure their star guys are getting early rest, because they have a feeling this was going to go down to the wire.
Anderson for 3, not quite, but it falls into Ulf's hands, and he's fouled. Bunyan a little nod to the referee to agree with that one.
Well, and that's what David Ulf will give them this ability to rebound the basketball. He's got a natural nose for the ball and a work rate that's, well, very few players in the league will be able to match.
Anderson slicing through the middle, wants a whistle, doesn't get one. Caledonia can run with Durham into traffic. He gets his own rebound and scores in the second attempt.
Wow, big play from Durham there. Not able to finish the first one after a lot of contact, but sticks with it, finishes the second one. Big play.
Caledonia in front. Ulf chasing down the offensive rebound. Archibald fires up the 3, tipped out by Jack, and Evans has it. Archibald driving to the rim. Both teams aggressively attacking. That will count. A bonus free throw coming.
Archibald drives on the baseline, and what an athletic finish there. Going across Patrick Taffa, he reaches down. And one play there. And that's good energy for the Cheshire Phoenix. There wasn't one, it was 2 offensive rebounds, which give them that third opportunity to put points on the board.
And 2 offensive rebounds that were both influenced by Ulf. Ulf grabbed the first one, a deflection from him on the second one. We talked about it earlier. This guy is a workhorse. And he knows what his job is in there, and he does it well.
Three-point plays not converted. Malcolm trying to get it into Tape, unable to keep possession of it. And Austin going directly to the rim, and again Ulf crashing it.
Wow, the energy he's bringing to this game already. They cannot handle him on the board so far, and again, if Larry Austin Jr. can keep attacking and players keep driving, David Ulf will contest every rebound. So far he's gobbling them up. That's 4 rebounds already for David Ulf.
First free throw short from Ulf.
Well, for all the praise we're giving David Ulf, this isn't one of his areas of strength. The 41% free throw shooter.
but he makes the second, doubles his team's lead. 40 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Good screen from Tape. Onwas already knocked one down from there. In and out.
It's a good miss as well. Almost was down. Onwas playing with those 2 fouls. Coach trusting him not to pick up a third.
Archibald. Back to Ulf. Ulf going to the rim. Can't finish. Last few seconds here. Durham going quick. Knocked away, but illegally so by Archibald. And that will be 2 free throws for Durham.
And that's what Durham's been really good for this Caledonia team since joining late. His ability to run in the open floor, but also to attack the rim. He doesn't settle for 3-point shots or outside shots. He's a guy that likes to attack, and he's really good at it.
Durham makes the second, and Onwas will be protected for the last 3.2 seconds as Baldwin comes in. It's going to be a full court pressure on the Phoenix to try and not let them get a shot away. Archibald might get to half court, will fire it up, and it is off the mark. An explosive first quarter here at the Emirates Arena. Larry Austin, last year's MVP, with 8 points already. Ben Thomas and the Cheshire Phoenix lead Gareth Murray and the Caledonia Gladiators by 1 point at the end of the opening quarter. We will have the second period when we return. Brock's history. There's Sterling Davis, the former coach, 11 years a coach, most of them as a player coach, watching on an interested party. He's obviously a massive part of this club's history.
Oh yeah, Sterling Davis is a legendary figure for the old Rocks there, and I remember being on the receiving end of many of those elbows back in the day.
He was one of the toughest men in the low block. You knew about it if you came into contact with Sterling Davis. Here's Jack with the jump shot, front rim. Austin again, hawking a steal. Always got his eyes on the ball. Durham up in the air. Tappe, extra pass onto Malcolm, tipped away by Teague. Wolf is there to get his hands on the ball. He's been at the centre of a lot of good stuff, David Olf.
Yeah, Cheshire have done a really good job of contesting all shots inside and also gobbling up those defensive rebounds.
And an offensive one there for Teague, which he puts back for two.
How scrappy are Cheshire underneath the rim on both ends of the floor, just really attacking, staying aggressive, not giving up.
Foul is called on Larry Austin, his first personal foul.
I mean, that's, the aggressive defense of Larry Austin. That's the risk you take sometimes, picking up those ticky-tacks. Larry Austin already with 2 steals on the board. I think he'll take that foul.
Sloan skips it cross court. Bailey in the corner for 3 all string.
That's a big one, and Strong does a really good job of penetration on the baseline, being able to get that ball across there. Difficult pass, and Bailey, difficult high arcing shot there in the corner, knocks it down.
We're tied at 21 here in the trophy final. And the foul is called on the floor. 8:27 to go in the second quarter. Sitting down for Cheshire, end-line ball to the Knicks. T. Cross court to Anderson. Anderson driving baseline is absolutely mugged. And Ben Thomas just asking the question as to whether this is too aggressive. It's because the second arm comes across that Thomas is asking the question. I think it's just going to be a regular foul. It is. 8:20 to go, tied at 21.
A good call there from the referee. And Patrick Tappe as well, mismatch, having to guard Jamel Anderson out on the perimeter. He's not only is he quicker than him, but Jamel Anderson can shoot the 3 ball efficiently, and that'll be Patrick Tappe's 3rd foul. And frustrating for him because he's been out with injury, so his preparation leading up to this game hasn't been ideal. He's been a player who's grown in confidence as the seasons went on. 6'10", skillful, powerful big man that they're going to need to put in a performance today, but with 3 fouls, we'll more than likely see him on the bench now for at least this half.
Anderson makes both foul shots. Here's Sloan. Ripped away by T. 2-point Cheshire lead. Austin driving hard is fouled, and he will go to the line with 7:58 on the clock.
That is Cheshire Phoenix to a T, and that's why they've been so successful. It's Jamel Anderson hounded and chasing the best player on the opposing team, David Sloan. He guides him into Teague, who was ready for the steal there in an interception, and then pass the ball to Larry Austin Jr., and he will finish the offensive transition. It's either a score or a resulting foul. That's typically the outcome when Larry Austin Jr. is in the open floor.
Austin off the mark on the first free throw, so it stays at 23-21. Second one is good, 24-21, inside 8 minutes to play in the first half. Hodges, top of the key, trying to back down Ulf, trying to pulley his way to the basket. Can't finish though.
David Ulf again matching the strength of Ali Hodges.
Archibald this time getting to the rim. Soft touch.
Phoenix got a lot of those guys that are athletic. They like to attack the rim. I think Archibald's been a good addition to this team. Maceo Jack's been a good addition to this team. This is the Cheshire Phoenix team that just got stronger and stronger as the seasons went on.
Well, Cheshire have opened up a 26-21 lead so far here. And earlier we managed to catch up with Fraser Malcolm ahead of the final.
Fraser. Fraser, you're Scottish through and through. What does it mean to be playing a final here?
It means so much. You know, it's been so long since the Rocks or the Gladiators have won any silverware, and you know, kind of having it at home in the Emirates is massive for the club, for myself, for Scotland, for everyone involved.
And you're a local PE teacher. I hear you got a couple of fans in the building tonight.
Yeah, I've got some colleagues and some pupils here, so you know, just want to perform well and get the win and just make everyone here very, very happy.
And you've known Gareth for a long time. How have you seen him transition from player to coach, sorry?
I think he coaches the exact same way that he played. I think he's very competitive. He's very big on the attention to details, you know, very into all the tactics of the game. So, you know, he just coaches the exact same way that he plays.
And a lot of exciting things happening here in regards to the future. But how are you able to focus on the task at hand today?
You know, I think we just have to play our game. You know, at this point of the season, it's all just about playing hard, attention to detail, focusing on the scouting personnel. So I think if we do those things, we have a good chance to be successful today.
Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
Well, back underway here at the Emirates Arena. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Blocked by T. It's Phoenix 26, Gladiators 21. T to the finger roll, and that will count for 2.
And this Phoenix team just continues to challenge everything at the rim and create opportunities for themselves down the other end. Teague with another easy basket.
He did everything himself there. He was the guy that made the defensive play in the block shot. He's the guy that brought the ball up, and then he's the guy that scores the basketball. Teague, great start from him.
Stolen away, not quite by off. That's a backcourt. Sloan went from the front court into the backcourt. Great spot by the official. There was a block warning as well for Bailey on the previous play that has just been issued out.
You cannot take any plays off with this Phoenix team. They will be hands in the cookie jar, aggressive. They're trying to create as many opportunities for themselves as they can. And this Gladiators team, I think, when you have a team that's playing such aggressive defense, you need to execute. You need to get into some sets. You need to set some screens. You need to make them work.
7-point lead, biggest of the game for the Knicks. That's a tough shot from Neighbor, but the shot clock was getting low, so he had to take it. Stolen away by Austin.
The turnover starting to rack up now for Phoenix. For Gladiators, excuse me.
Archibald can't hit the 3. Oh, he went after another steal there, Austin, but Durham was able to squeeze through.
And that's the drawback of doing that. You gamble, you look for a steal, and if you don't get the steal, then the offensive player's got an advantage because you're out of position. And on that occasion, Gladiators profited.
28-23, Phoenix lead. 6 minutes to play in the first half. Neighbor again late in the shot clock, having to heave one up. Austin trying to get the offensive rebound, and he's accidentally caught Durham. So it will be a foul, and it will be his second foul, so he will sit down for a moment, I think, with Evans returning.
Oh, it's a difficult one. It's a fine line, too, when you're always going after the ball. Sometimes you can get yourself into those scenarios where there's contact and the referee blows the whistle. 2 fouls now on Larry Austin Jr. will mean that Coach Ben Thomas is going to have to be selective with his minutes.
5.5 to play in the first half. 28-23 the score in favor of the defending champions. Sloan. Shot clock being counted down. In and out on the jumper. Here come Cheshire. Anderson down to Teague. Teague has a double team. And he just sends his man to the ground, and that's going to be an offensive foul. 5:06 on the clock. Caledonia get it back.
I thought that was a smart play there from Jeremiah Bailey. He knows he's undersized there, and he's got position, and he's flopped, but it's worked. Oh wow! On the replay, he's flopped very well.
I think it could have gone either way. I think he went down a little too easy there, though.
I just wonder whether he was going before he was hitting the chest, but he was. There was some contact. But having got a flop warning, it's always a risk you take there, trying to get that charge. And that worked for him that time. Here's Sloan. Good help from Teague to knock it away. And that's hit the stanchion. It would have been a shot clock violation if it hadn't hit the stanchion.
That is excellent individual defensive effort from Tajay Teague there. There's not one, there was several occasions there where he's playing help defense and he's not just swiping at the ball, his timing is immaculate in that these little deflections disrupt the whole offense for the Gladiators, and he gets them to commit a shot clock violation, turnover. Either way, Cheshire Phoenix will have the ball back.
28-23, the Phoenix lead here with 4:42 to go, and earlier we caught up with a man who's been in many finals, Jamel Anderson.
Jamel, you seem to be enjoying life. Always a smile on your face. Does the Phoenix franchise fit your style?
For sure. You know, the fans are amazing. The club is really a great club to play for, and it's been an exciting season.
In 14 years pro, international experience, do you still get excited for days like this?
Of course. I live for this. I live for these moments. I'm really excited to be here today. I think the team's put a lot of effort to get here, of course, and hopefully we'll come out with the win.
And what would it mean to you personally to grab your 12th trophy and also the organization?
I mean, to bring a trophy back to Cheshire Phoenix would be amazing. I'm excited about having another opportunity to get a trophy. And like I said, I really hope that we come out with a win today.
And we know the fans will be here in droves, but what do the Knicks need to do on the court to walk out victorious?
We got to leave it all on the court. And I think we've got a team of dogs, and you'll see that today.
Thanks for your time, Jamel.
Well, recently became a father as well, so a lot going on in the Anderson household, but we'd love to take a medal home.
And he's the type of player you'd want in your team if you're trying to win silverware. Me and Jamel won our first piece of silverware together a decade ago, 2013 now, BBL Cup final. He was a lot younger back then in experience, but he was big for us on that day, and he usually steps up big on these occasions.
Oh, man, what a finish from Evans.
Marcus Evans, another one of those guys, was at the Bristol Flyers last year, made his name for himself in the British Basketball League. A little bit of a later acquisition, comes onto this roster, and boy, is he a weapon.
Yeah, what an impact he's made for this team right away. You know, coming in, Larry Austin Jr. was kind of the primary ball handler before he showed up. And now he's kind of pushed Larry to the two guard. We've got two guards that can aggressively bring the ball up the floor. But, you know, Evans, great facilitator, great at getting other guys involved, but also he's you know, offensive threat himself.
Ali Hodzic, well, they all went away from him for a second, and he's made them pay with some good footwork.
It's a good sign for the Gladiators to get Ali Hodzic there, feeling good about himself. He got 6 points personal for himself now. He's 3 for 8, so he's got the shots, but he just hasn't been able to convert on a consistent basis.
Archibald at the elbow knocks it down. Gap moves back out to 7.
That's a difficult matchup for Ali Hodzic, who was switched out there on Archibald, but it was a good enough contest. But Archibald, again, he's the latest addition, and he's been a bright spark for this team as well.
Sloan kicking it back out to Bailey. Bailey driving in. Ball is up in the air. It comes all the way out to Durham. Malcolm in the corner for 3. Knocks it down.
Big shot from Malcolm there. That's what he does best. Great role player for this Caledonia Gladiators team. But great shot from him. That's his shot right there. Corner 3.
Distracted by Sterling Davis.
I was good. Just about to say that. Sterling's got me thinking of the old days here.
Here's Anderson trying to get 3 points back and doing exactly that.
Excellent response there from Jamel Anderson, and he's a guy you cannot leave open, especially in the corner. He's been taking that shot and making that shot for years.
Oh, Ali Hodgic has gone down. I don't quite know. He's back up. Looked like he might have hurt himself as he went down, but he seems to be okay. In the corner, here's Malcolm again for 3.
2 for 2 from the corner, Fraser Malcolm. Big time shot there from the local lad.
He's one of the players as well that you'd want. Again, if you're trying to pick silverware with being Scottish roots here, this is his, again, a dream scenario for him to play a final of where he's from.
Good hands from Anderson as ever to deflect that away.
Substitution checking into the game is number 6, Jimenez.
There's plenty of discussion going on between Bailey and Durham. Both ends of the floor. Durham's been substituted out of the game, but Bailey had a chat with him on the way out the door as Jimenez came in. A long way behind the bench. There he is. Sloan glances up at the shot clock. Gets into the key. Here's Malcolm again. Not this time. Teague with the rebound.
Well, he didn't make that shot, but what you've got is you've got a focused Malcolm now who's looking to aggressively take that shot. It makes the Gladiators offense that much more dangerous now because they're going to have to honor that.
Yeah, definitely. It helps spread the floor, too. It feels like this Cheshire Phoenix team has really shrunk the floor on the defensive end for them. A shooter in the corner like that can help spread things out and even out the spacing.
Sloan into the key, back iron. Neighbor just had the long enough arms to pull that one in. Archibald with the finish off the glass, and he's got a bonus coming.
That's a big one, and again, it's a guy that likes to attack the rim, and he's attacked it aggressively right at Malcolm, the taller defender, but he shoots over him, absorbs the contact, and that initial spin move too quick. Nice finish. A player like this can be exciting and unpredictable. He's a rookie that played 5 years NCAA Division I. It was a late acquisition, as I said, and he sort of hit the ground running. Didn't have time to settle in, but 11 points a game for him, and he's been instant offense for them.
Evans trying to force another turnover. Jimenez chased all over the court. Bailey from behind, he knocks down the triple.
Yeah, two of the Phoenix defenders were dragged away then from Bailey, and after that screen, Bailey finds and relocates space and knocks that one down.
His second 3 of the game. Archibald again going to the rim, tried to jam it in. Comes away with nothing. Sloan quickly back the other way. Through the contact. Free throw coming for David Sloan.
Wow, and just like that, there was almost a spectacular highlight at one end of the floor. And in literally seconds, David Sloan is attacking the rim. What a finish against 6'10" Will Neighbor. 2000.
Well, this is what both teams have. They both have guards who are lightning and only know one way to go. Full pace to the rim.
That's exactly that. And David Sloan has been a...
Ollie Hodgic with the offensive rebound. Nearly got a second one.
God, this means that the first to react, wasn't he? And
it looked like Cheshire thought there were 2 free throws coming. Circus shot from Evans doesn't quite go. Sloan's going to step into the 3. Neighbor gratefully sees that bouncing in his hand. The shot clock is off, so Cheshire can take the final attempt of the first half. Evans, the 3, misses, and that will do it for a very tight first half. The Cheshire Phoenix led by as many as 7, but Ben Thomas heads off to the locker room with just a 2-point lead. Caledonia and Gareth Murray very much in this game. There's a long, long way to go in this one, Ant.
Yeah, I mean, look, we predicted it was going to be a close one, and again, we're at halftime here. None the wiser, really, of who's going to come out on top at the end of this game. It's been an erratic game at times as well. Many runs here and there, and it hasn't been the cleanest of games, but the energy from the Cheshire Phoenix has been something that's been implanted on this game early, and I think Caledonia did a better job there at the end of the latter stage of that second quarter to be able to cope with that.
Well, Caledonia have been knocking down threes and Cheshire haven't, but Cheshire more efficient inside the arc, getting to the rim, shooting 50%.
Well, Cheshire have been great at creating Caledonia turnovers, and when those turnovers happen, in the open floor, Larry Austin Jr., Evans, and Teague, they've been devastating on the other end of the floor. So if Cheshire Phoenix can maintain that energy, they're going to put themselves in a good position.
Well, one guy who's been key to that with 3 steals. Last year's MVP, Larry Austin, is with Mike Tubb.
Larry, up 2 points at half. Are you happy with the performance?
Yeah, we're up. We'll take a lead going into halftime, but, it's scrappy out there. The refs are letting us play. We got to play defense and things like that. So both teams are a defense-oriented team. We just got to keep going, So now we're up, but we're going to go at it at 0-0 right now, so we got a whole second half to play.
And you said it right there, definitely scrappy, especially from you guys on both ends of the floor. Was that something that Coach Ben Thomas talked about in the pregame?
For sure, that's what's going to win us the game. Defense wins championship, we have to be scrappy. We have to be solid on the defensive end. We have to limit the guards that they have. The guard duos that they have, we just have to limit them.
And talking about championships, you're a guy who's been here before. You won it, former MVP. How much does that experience from last season play into this game tonight?
A lot, because, guys are new here. So, just having that experience from last year, the crowd, how things are going to be called, everything like that. So just try to keep the team calm, lead by example.
And what do you guys have to do in this second half to pull out a win?
We got to rebound the basketball, and we got to get stopped.
Larry, thanks for your time, buddy. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Larry Austin has been brilliant in the first half, as we expected, as we also figured this one was going to be a close-knit affair, and it's living up to that billing. Reaction and analysis coming next. Intensity in the first half, and the halftime entertainment, courtesy of BMX First, is continuing that trend. The BBL putting on a real show here for this packed Emirates Arena, and we knew that the Cheshire Phoenix were going to come out swinging as they aim to claim their trophy, reclaim their trophy. And the intensity and pace and energy that we know with this Phoenix side on show, but Caledonia, they've come to play as well. Both teams trading blows. And at the half, it is a 2-point ball game. Cheshire with a narrow advantage. Looking at the numbers, a couple of things jump out, not least the diametric opposites from downtown. Cheshire hitting just 11% from the three-point range. Caledonia, in particular, heating up as that half played out from downtown. Over 55% Fraser Malcolm front and centre there. But overall, outside of that, shooting more effective for the Cheshire Phoenix. Even Stevens pretty much when it comes to rebounds. 5 steals. We talked about that being the Phoenix MO at the top of the show, and that is fundamental. So, we knew it was going to be tight, Drew. We knew it was going to be evenly matched. A 2-point ball game, a fair result based on that half, do you think?
Yeah, that's exactly how I saw this game playing out. I mean, a tight, like I think Larry Austin described it perfectly, a scrappy game, and we can expect more of that in the second half.
I was referencing the Cheshire Phoenix intensity, and we saw the steals there. That's something that they're edging right now. But overall, do you think Caledonia, do you feel Caledonia are matching Cheshire when it comes to that fast-paced energy?
I don't think they are. I think what's keeping Caledonia in the game is to be able to Fraser Malcolm had a couple of big threes that really made all the difference. But if the game continues the way it was that first half, I think the Cheshire Phoenix will come out on top. They've been aggressive going to the basket, and that's been the difference in the game.
That aggression, driving to the basket, and frankly all round the court, front and centre from Larry Austin. We figured he would be a key protagonist this afternoon, and he's lived up to that, Kieran. He's just so electrifying to watch, isn't he?
Drew Lasky would say he is a dog. Like, he plays so hard. Every time he goes to the basket, you can just see the intensity, big steals, and so it's a gift and a curse. That's what's got him in that foul trouble too, with his couple of fouls.
Drew, you were surprised, you let over to me at one point, you were surprised that Coach Thomas took him off when he was on a roll and very much the hot hand.
Yeah, I feel like Ben Thomas saved the Gladiators, because right now Larry Austin's at a +9. It's a 2-point ball game. Early in the first quarter, he took him out when he had no fouls, which gave the Gladiators a little bit of confidence. In this type of event, there's no reason to save players. Roll them out there and let them play.
When you're playing with a player who's like that anyway, and in that kind of form, really seems to inspire players around him. Amori Archibald, the youngster who's come in, seemed to pick up off that energy and pick up off the way that Larry Austin was playing and run with that.
Yeah, it gives other guys confidence, right? Everybody is waiting around to see what's going to happen. Larry Austin got the party started. Now everybody has confidence to play their game.
Despite the fast pace as the game played out, it was a slowish start, wasn't it? Quite a fractious start, but then the game came to life, Kieran.
Yeah, it came off to a good start. It was really slow, but then bang. Teague stepping up, the big dunk, getting the crowd going. Even the Glasgow fans were cheering that on. And then Glasgow did what the Gladiators do best, get out on the break, and Bailey with a big slam.
We keyed in, of course, on Larry Austin. David Sloan, his opposite number. What have you made of his first half?
I think he's been really slow. I think he's been kind of passive, but Jamel Anderson has taken on that task of guarding the best player in David Sloan and done a great job doing it.
We talked about it at the top, didn't we? Jamel Anderson showing his defensive prowess, keeping David Sloan in check. So they had to go to plan B, the Gladiators, and that plan B was Fraser Malcolm, and really hitting and getting hot from downtown. In the final stages of that first half, how much will they look to capitalise on this, Kieran, in the second half?
These were big shots and a great momentum builder. Mr. Malcolm, as we like to call him up here in Glasgow, knocking down the three, coming off the bench and making an impact for his Gladiators team.
Conversely, Drew, Cheshire struggling from the three-point range, so that's something they'll be looking to improve.
Yeah, they're not a great shooting team anyway. They've only scored 4 points outside of the perimeter this whole game. I said it before, which team can score the most layups, but you're going to have one guy that's going to have to open up the floodgates, so they're going to have to get it going from outside if they're going to come out victorious.
Given what you said, Kieran, about Caledonia maybe not playing their typical game with that typical pace, Gareth Murray's going to be reasonably happy with that performance, with that scoreline rather, given that performance.
He will be reasonably happy, but Happy looks injured. I don't know how much he'll feature in the second half. And you've got foul trouble of Bailey and Onwas as well. So for this game, it's a battle of a foul trouble. We keep Larry Austin out of foul trouble for this second half. Cheshire have a chance. If you can protect Bailey and Onwas, it could lean in the Gladiators' favour.
What are we saying about depth here and bench strength? Because we talked about how evenly matched these two teams are. Can you see a particular edge either way?
Yeah, like I said, it's just, you don't know who's going to come to the party. We saw how slow this game was. Everybody was a little bit nervy and jittery, and you need that unsung hero. Right now, it's Fraser for the Gladiators. Who is that guy going to be for the Cheshire Phoenix?
We talked about at the top of the show, didn't we? And this, you could probably make sense of it here. It is an absolutely electric atmosphere. The Bon Jovi being dropped in, which is putting a smile on your face, I can see. So we knew this was going to hype up Caledonia. We also talked about the risk it might have, adding to that pressure, adding to that expectation and intensity. You think you saw a bit of that in the first half? The weight on their shoulders.
Most definitely. You can see that. The ball was kind of, like Kieran mentioned earlier, Sloan wasn't aggressive as he normally was. But what surprised me the most was Bailey. We know how aggressive he normally is. He passed up a couple of shots, but he is settling down now. And now, in the second half, both teams can just play. The weight's off both of their shoulders. Let the best man win.
All right, then. This one is keenly poised, as we figured it would be. And I tell you what, if we have a second half like the first half ended, it is going to be an absolute thriller. And if Caledonia stay in this one, you can expect the atmosphere to crack up and up and up here at the Emirates. Second half coming next. It is a white-hot atmosphere here at the Emirates. The Caledonia Gladiator fans expectant. The Knicks Nation ready, waiting to double down. What a second half we have in store for you. The second major piece of silverware of the BBL season will be decided in the next 60 minutes. So let's get back to Ant and Dan.
Thank you very much, Nat. Yes, there is no better place to be right now than courtside here at the Emirates Arena. Two teams going blow for blow, desperate to get their hands on the prize. Gareth Murray, nobody as a player in the history of British basketball played more games without winning a medal along the way. 7 times a runner-up as a player. Early in his coaching career, can he get a winner's medal on the board?
Wow, what a tweet that would be, Dan, if you let that one go out before tip-off today.
I didn't want to kill him on Twitter.
But no, it's a rare occasion too, because he was a phenomenal player for the country as well, and a really strong GB team out in his latter stages of his career as well. And he just was one of those guys that just couldn't quite get over the hump.
461 league appearances, but all runners-up medals, unfortunately for him.
It's really hard to win stuff in this league, by the way. It's, you get dominant teams coming and going, but you've always got that competitiveness for each piece of silverware. You'd think because you've got 4 up for grabs, it would maybe be easier, but it really isn't.
Well, one of the problems that Gareth Murray had was sat right next to you, Drew Lasker, and his Newcastle Eagles hogging all the medals for a lot of the Gareth Murray era.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to Gareth Murray as a guy that I've faced many times. Jamel Anderson opens up the floodgates from the corner.
You're not sorry, not one bit.
I absolutely am not.
Here's Bailey with a step back 3, back iron this time, but Ali Hodzic gets a new 14 for his team. Jimenez is going to take the triple, and he's going to knock it down. First points of the game for Carl Jimenez.
One of the Scottish players here, which of course this occasion will mean that little bit more to them, and it's for a second chance opportunity, and this is where we thought would be the advantage of the Caledonia Gladiators, having Ali Hodzic, Patrick Tepe, being able to do damage on those offensive boards.
And there's Jimenez knocking the ball loose.
And that's great hands there by the Gladiators. You can see the adjustment when Austin has the ball in his hands going downhill. They're starting to send that weak side defender there with high hands. The challenge will be making sure you can do it without fouling.
Well, that is the 3rd personal foul on Teague. He and Neighbor both on 3. Tafe the only one the other end of the floor. Onwas off the glass, tipped in by Ali Hodzic.
Really good energy from Ali Hodzic. He was responsible for getting that second chance opportunity to play before. Now he benefits himself by an easy tipping.
Evans for 3, knocks it down. The Knicks are back ahead.
And that's a big shot after only hitting 1 3 in the entire first half. The Cheshire Phoenix has opened up this second half with 2 threes, and Marcus Evans needs to get himself going if Phoenix are going to be successful tonight.
Almost throwing it in, but it's stolen away again by Larry Austin. His 4th steal, and he's running. It's out to Evans for another 3. Not this time. Neighbor flying high. It's tipped down, and Onwas and Teague collide. And that will be a foul on Teague, and that will be his 4th personal foul.
It really hurts, and that's one of those situations where he sees the ball, and if he comes second, he will be credited with a foul, and he was just a split second too slow there on that one, and 4 fouls for Tajar Teague, and that's a big one.
And that's just a lack of experience. In that situation, your foul situation. Sometimes you got to pick your battles and just lay off on that one there. Can't take that risk.
Agreed.
That's going to be offensive. Onwas using the forearm to clear out Evans. That's his 3rd.
Well, Onwas has been trying to force the issue there because he's a mismatch on him. He's had Evans on him, which Evans is a guard and Onwas is a forward, a bigger forward. So he's trying to capitalize on that size mismatch, but in that occasion, all it does is give him an offensive foul.
And you can see the adjustment from the Gladiators offensively. They've gone to almost 3 plays in a row in the post trying to take advantage of that size matchup, but come up empty, turn over the play before, offensive foul. Got to get back to what got them here.
Austin. He converts for 2.
And that's the guy you would want to be riding. 11 points personal now. He's the only guy on court in double figures scoring. And as you say, Dan, he's got MVP caliber numbers already. If he can continue this, be that first player, he can figure out a way to get that trophy back with the yellow clan and the Cheshire Phoenix.
Well, it's interesting. We talked a lot about the fact that, you know, there's obviously a lot of Gladiators fans. There'll be a lot of just Scottish people who come to watch the spectacle who will no doubt be supporting Caledonia as well. But that can help you as the game goes on. But if it's close late on, you can sense the nerves of people in the building. It might not be quite as helpful as Ali Hodgic jams it in.
And Owens finally there in a position to take advantage of that mismatch as he makes that pocket pass. And Ali Hodgic does the rest.
Well, it was a close game the last time they made it to the trophy final here at the Emirates. Worcester coming out on the high side. Blocked! Absolutely spiked down. But foul is called first of all.
Wow, what a contest at the rim. Unbelievable. Look how high Maceo Jack gets here.
Wow. Well, Maceo Jack's dad played volleyball for the Jamaican national team, so I think he's got some genetics.
It makes sense on that last play. That's exactly what it looked like. Looking like he was getting ready to spike for an ace there.
Well, and to go with those genetically gifted genes that he's got, his mum is the head coach of the Syracuse women's basketball team, so he has got the genetic makeup and the intelligence and the IQ from his mum. What a combination.
Talk about being set up for success, man. What a lucky guy.
Some guys just get dealt stronger cards than others.
Bailey from the free throw line puts the Gladiators up one. Evans into the lane. Sloan trying to rip it away. Austin finds it on the floor. 5 on the shot clock. Austin creates some separation. His shot is short. It needs to go up from Anderson. He missed the ring anyway. Doesn't matter. We can play live. Bailey hard to the hole for the jam.
Wow, Bailey flying into the rim. I thought he would have to readjust there because there were defenders in the key. But he decided to go for route one, and that was straight to the rim. And what a finish.
Caledonia with the momentum here, winning this quarter 13 points to 8. Foul is called. And Hodgic with a little push, and that will be sideline ball.
And the Gladiators have stepped up their half-court defense this half, and Cheshire are going to have to eventually be in a position to execute some sets. They've been able to score a lot off their turnovers, off in the fast break, but ultimately, you got to get back to the X's and O's.
Ball moves around to Neighbor in the corner, and he strings the 3.
And that's what Will Neighbor is brought into the starting 5 to do, and that's the mismatch with the big guys jumping out at him. Ali Hodges not accustomed to playing out on the perimeter, and Will Neighbor's length is able to shoot that just like an open jump shot.
Well, 5 points for Neighbor, his first 3 of the game. Ties things up at 49. Pass deflected. Jack running. Jack getting to the rim. It's an offensive foul. Used his arm to clear Omos out the way.
Yeah, that's a great call by the referee there. Great defensive play by Owens, knowing that he's sitting there in foul trouble, and clear extension there for the offensive foul. And didn't necessarily need to, because you know Owens is going to move out the way. He's not going to want to pick up that additional foul.
Well, he's probably thinking, I can get him on 4 here if I can get some contact. Unfortunately, he initiated it, and it's his 3rd.
It's one of those ones as well. These are really easy for us to dissect when you're in the moment. It's so difficult to make that decision. Not that I was over in the open floor.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, when were you leading the break, bro? I don't remember that.
I remember, Ann.
Out in front. Here's Bailey, top of the key, knocks it down. He's starting to heat up.
Well, he is a guy for me, an X factor. Again, the largest continuum in the British Basketball League. When he is good, he is one of the best players in the league. But we have seen him be absent in a number of fixtures this year, and today he looks like one of the superstars in the league.
Archibald back to Neighbour. 5 on the shot clock. Archibald looking to attack. He was hoping for a foul. He didn't get one.
Again, another great set of defense from the Caledonia Gladiators, and Bailey in attack mode.
Tape trying to get the offensive rebound. It's going to be a Caledonia ball.
Tape is able to secure that ball. The way he's doing is making himself a nuisance, and again, questions over Tape's health after the ask, because in a few games going up to this fixture, and we're going to see how much they can get out of him.
Well, he had a substitution being made, and Neighbour didn't realise he was coming out. He had a foot injury. Obviously, they're without Ali Fraser, who's going to undergo surgery on his foot tomorrow, I believe. So that's another absentee. And there's going to be a foul here as Durham hits the deck.
He's been excellent since joining Caledonia, and that's his game too. He likes to squeeze in between those gaps, and his quick first step. He's athletic, a player from high pedigree, University of Indiana University. That time, it was the floor that stopped him.
Yeah,
slip there.
I thought that in a moment that was a slip, and Durham very fortunate now where he heads to the line for 2, and suddenly the momentum feels like it's beginning to shift.
Well, it is only a 3-point lead for Caledonia, but you're right, Drew. It feels like they're on top at the moment.
Well, you guys are seeing something I'm not. I'm still none the wiser. This game is back and forth, back and forth. No one's really been able to pull away.
A 4-point lead for Gareth Murray and the Gladiators. It's their biggest of the game.
And I was wondering when Gareth Murray was going to pull us out the bag, the 2-3 zone. Cheshire not typically a great outside shooting team, and haven't proved that tonight.
And the pass astray. And Caledonia with the wind in their sails, and Durham with the ball. Malcolm, top of the key, just a little short.
Wow, and that's what they would have wanted. Fraser Malcolm stepping into that 3-point shot. He had a couple in the first half, and we saw what that did to the scoreline.
And who's going to be the guy for the Phoenix that steps up and makes an outside shot?
Evans gets it to Jack, who makes an inside shot.
Well, that's the way you can defeat a zone, is if your players have to move, and you see an active Maceo Jack there, not standing still, finding space and converting the shot.
Bailey throwing it up, wanting a whistle, doesn't come his way. Evans, oh, beautiful.
Ooh. As Evans gets to the cup on the fast break, a little up and under with a little jelly.
Nice. Smooth is the exact word I would describe for that one, and that's a good way to beat the zone, is if you can attack it before it's set up. A little bit of afters there.
I think he was falling over. I think Ulf was trying to keep him up, if I'm honest with you. I don't think there was anything much in it.
Sportsmanship in a final?
Yeah,
no. Times have
Modern
changed.
day basketball. Modern day basketball.
Do we not remember when Allen Iverson stepped over the top?
Ty Lue.
Yeah, Ty Lue. Yeah.
This game is changing so much, I don't even know anymore. Everyone's shooting threes. Everyone's helping everyone up.
Well, which one of you elbowed the other in the face in a major fight? I'm sure one of you did.
Me and Drew were always underlining friends, you know, so we love that. You know, I'm not going to give you any stitches if you don't give me any.
Yeah. There was a mutual agreement, wasn't it, pre-game?
Tuck just came on and clocked you both.
Oh, I was always trying to get touch stitches, always.
Durham makes the second. Gladiators up 1. Larry Austin, who's just returned to the action with 2 minutes to play in the third. His team trail by 1. Anderson trying to change that. With the rebound.
That zone almost given the shot, wasn't it? The three-point shot, but if you're not hitting, it's a null trip.
Jimenez strings the 3.
And that's one guy that is hitting the Scots with 4 threes total. Jimenez, Fraser, 12 bonus points that you're not expecting coming into this game, and that could be the difference here.
Austin has it ripped away. Bailey just knocks Archibald to the ground. He's going to get a flop warning for that, but it's a turnover first.
And he absolutely should. There's been a couple of flops, in my opinion, here today.
Yeah.
The ref's not fooled by that one bit.
It seemed like a good pass to me, or a good idea. It was like the miscommunication. That should be a catch and a layup there. Bradley Hodges, maybe the pass is overthrown, I don't know, but that should have been a conversion.
Well, Gladiators winning this quarter and winning the game. Just over a period to play. Austin just bobbled the ball. I think it came off Ali Hodges' foot, which if it did, puts a new 14 on the clock for Cheshire.
Good energy here in this zone for the Gladiators, and Cheshire offense a little bit messy here.
Anderson in the corner, misses the 3.
The difference being now there's no offensive rebound, second chance opportunities. Caledonia seem to have, an offensive foul here.
Malcolm colliding with Anderson, who ended up on the floor.
Let's play on. I don't know about that one. Let's keep hooping.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion. I mean, I could live with that not being called.
That's your teammate on the floor.
Well, that's why I'm not leading one side of the fence.
Archibald misses the 3, comes out to Evans though. He's going to take the triple, and he's going to knock it down. A 1-point game.
And again, Evans opening it up, and they're going to need him desperately as this 2-3 zone has caused the Phoenix plenty issues in this third quarter.
Last offense of the third period. Durham, traveling violation is the call. So Phoenix have 1.7 seconds to work with.
Caledonia, good opportunity to extend that lead, but can't take it.
Evans from inside his own half is off the mark. Well, we played half an hour here in Glasgow. We are no nearer to knowing who is going to win this BBL Trophy final. End of 3. 56 points, Cheshire Phoenix, the defending champions. 57 points, the Caledonia Gladiators. We'll find out who's going to win after this break.
Well, we didn't turn that over.
Yeah, but that was better defense by the Gladiators. Phenomenal coming into this fourth quarter, going back to a man-to-man and really locked in on that possession.
So neither team have really got away in this game. 7 points, the biggest lead. Bailey trying to add to his team's advantage.
Excellent individual defensive effort there from Jamal Anderson. Guarding one of the best, more talented players in the league, and was able to block the initial shot, and then Bailey knocks it out of bounds.
Evans with the mid-range, off the mark. Durham around the screen, little hesitation. Poked away by Ulf. It's going to be a bump foul by Ulf.
I love that though from Ulf. He's never backs down, does he? Loves the challenge.
Yep. Yeah.
Significant size and weight disadvantage he's got against Faroe Isle Hodges, but it hasn't been an uneven battle.
And that's one of those fouls that just sending the message to your teammates that, hey, it's go time. We got this. 8 minutes, let's lock in and get it done.
Now they go to Ali Hodges again. That's a lovely low post move.
That's an experienced veteran there of the game. GB International Faroe Isle Hodges. He's able to spin over that right shoulder and shoot the left-hand hook shot.
Austin, and Ali Hodges with the denial.
Wow, back-to-back plays from Faroe Isle Hodges. Protecting the inside.
Anderson has room. Does he have time? Yes, he gets it away. Can't convert. Ulf has the inside position, and he is fouled.
Relentless there from Ulf. Getting it done on the offensive boards.
Just a block play, just coming over there and sort of blocks it with his forearm. Wow.
Dave Ulf going to the free throw line, looking to make it a 1 point game.
The fans go, get real, they're endeared to David Ulf. Anyone who works hard, they can appreciate that. He was a player of the fans player of the season at Manchester Giants. He was 11 points, 9 rebounds a guy. He was just a workhorse as well. So the fans can really relate, I think, to David Ulf, because he's a normal guy, but he just works really hard.
Well, they don't draw pictures in the scoreboard as he banks in the free throw.
Hey, it doesn't matter. As long as it drops in, I'll take it. And as you mentioned earlier, and not a great free throw shooter, steps up to the line, makes both, and we got a 1 point game here.
He gets a big ovation from the fans behind the bench as he sits down, and they now cheer for the defense as Sloan and the Gladiators come forward. This time it's Neighbour's job to try and contain Ali Hodges, and that's out of bounds. Will stay with, or will it stay with? The initial signal was Caledonia. The referees are going to chat this over, and they're going to change the decision over. And that's good refereeing there. They realised maybe we haven't quite got this wrong. It's come off Ali Hodges' foot and out of bounds. And we do have 3 of the most experienced officials in the country, an Englishman and a Scottishman and a Welshman, Gavin Williams, Chris Dodds and Andy Thackeray, doing a good job here today.
I feel like you're going to follow that with a joke.
It feels like there ought to be
Irishman,
one.
Englishman in a bar.
Maybe after the game they can go to the bar.
Well, the best part about that possession is not falling for that flop there by Will Neighbour. Great refereeing.
Neighbour with the head fake, resets for 3, off the mark. Good rebound by Bailey. Still has it. Goes round, Neighbour, and lays it in.
Oh, excellent work by Jamara Bailey there. He's really versatile in that. He rebounds extremely well for a guard and able to skip his way around the defender. Nice play.
Evans finding some room in the lane, but he can't convert. Austin trying to keep it alive, and he does. Evans short. And this time it's Caledonia's #1 who rises highest for the rebound. Sloan for 3. Archibald grabs the loose ball.
It's a great rebound from Archibald, isn't it? Athletic. And I think Cheshire's got to try and get Larry Austin Jr. in some movements here. He's their leading scorer, and I know he gets a lot of his points in the open floor and the fast break, but he's still really good at attacking the rim in the half court as well.
Shot clock's low here. Evans gets fouled on the floor.
And you're absolutely right. We see Austin there hovering around the baseline, the dunker area, and at some point, you got to go to your guy, get him in some ball screen actions. I want the ball. I'm going to live and die with the ball in Larry Austin's hands.
Yeah. Well, Teague returns to the game for Cheshire. He is the leader by plus-minus in the ball game on either side of the floor at +7. They'd be loving it if they could get +7 in the remaining 6. And he gets the possession, but Larry Austin hit the deck very hard. Let's hope he's okay.
I know it's a painful process for him, but he's really good at that. He's really good at going to the rim and getting hit. He attacks here. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. And we have seen unsportsmanlike calls for a lot less than that. Wow.
Well, Austin is back on his feet.
Why is that one not looked at again?
Wow. Here's Evans on the turnaround. He rattles it in. It's a 1-point game.
And that's more Marcus Evans' forte, getting there to the mid-range area, 15, 16 feet where he can rise high, and he knocks it down there.
Poked away by Evans. 5:51 left in this ball game. It's a 1-point game. It's been almost relentless. They haven't stopped here in the second half. There's not been a single timeout called in the second half yet. Coach is saving them for late game situation. And it has a feel of they're going to need them in the late game situation. Evans into Teague, and he converts.
And that's what Teague does. Great touch around the rim, able to mix it up from the outside as well, but credit to Marcus Evans for making all of that happen.
And that's a turnover, and that's going to be a Cheshire ball. And I just said we haven't had a timeout in the second half. We have now, because Gareth Murray has called for time here at the Emirates Arena. His team's lead has disappeared. It's the Cheshire fans who are applauding as their team heads to the bench. Knicks lead by 1 point, 62-61. Well, we saw him earlier in the crowd, a former coach and player for the Glasgow Rocks, as they were. Sterling Davis, he's wishing on.
Well, we are here with Sterling Davis. We are more than happy to be here with you. Thank you for joining us.
No problem at all. Thank you.
So you had an all-star career here in the BBL, and obviously the head coach here in Glasgow for a while too. How does it feel to be back?
Oh, it's a surreal experience, to be honest with you. It's been a long time since I've been back here, but it still feels like home. I'm on a different seat right now, but I think it's worthy of today's kind of festivity.
And of course, you played with and you coached current head coach Gareth Murray. It must be nice to see him doing his thing out here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember Gareth when he was just a young boy, just coming back over from the States, and just to see his growth. He went away and played in Europe. Now he's come back. To see him in this capacity, I'm very proud of him. I hope things work out for him today.
And it's been a close one here today. It's back and forth. We all know who you're cheering for, but any predictions for the end of the game?
Too early to say. I'm on the edge of my seat right now. It can go either way. I'm impressed with both teams, but hopefully Gladiators are able to pull us out for us.
Well, we'll let you join the rest of the game. Enjoy, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Well, he is a legend of these parts, Sterling Davis. And he will be hoping that his former team can see it over the line, as will around about 80%, 90% of the crowd in here today. And it is the Gladiators who come away with the ball, trailing by 1. Sloan. Sloan, with the run knocks it down.
And that's what David Sloan likes to do himself as well. We mentioned at the top, both of these teams, not great from the outside, but if you get inside that arc, a flurry of runners, touch shots, that's what these guys do. Great shot there by David Sloan.
That's just a natural score at work there as well. It's not really a plan. He's just got to get in the danger zone to finish.
Well, Teague there giving Ali Hodzic a little bit of his own medicine there, strongly backing him down.
And they've missed a lot since Teague's been on the bench. Remember, he had 4 fouls, so he had to sit on the bench. You know, you mentioned about his plus minus. He has a 17 efficiency. You know, so it's leading his team there, and you've already seen plays on the both ends of the floor where he's added value to this Cheshire team.
Oh, Ali Hodzic wasn't quite expecting that. Hit him in the numbers, and he's able to catch it. Durham going hard to the hole, and this is what he does. Late in games, he starts to take over an attack.
I love that move there, right? As he snakes the screen, he stays patient, wait for the ocean and the seas to open up, and then he gets downhill strong, where he puts the Gladiators back up by 1.
Teague this time backing down Bailey, and backing him down out to Neighbor. Neighbor got fouled, and he will shoot 2.
Smart decision there from Will Neighbor. He wants to shoot that 3-point shot, but the defense was equal to it, so he used his dribble to get a closer shot there. And again, is it on Ali Hodzic? Will Neighbor this time going to the mid-range.
Bailey, his 3rd foul.
Okay, Bailey.
Encouraging the fans here in the Emirates to play their part in putting off Will Neighbor. But it doesn't work.
We've seen this competition go into overtime a couple of years, and this game is looking like it might have the same trajectory, back and forth, nip and tuck. A great advert for the British Basketball League.
Sloan into the key, and Neighbor pulls down the rebound. Well, there's been 2 overtime games, both of them in the trophy final, both of them in recent years. Will Neighbor was in one of them, Drew Lasker was in the other. And who would write against a 3rd right now? Here's Durham off the mark. And Hodzic trying to put it back in, and Austin with the rebound. We're inside the final 3, and the scoring, as ever, tends to get a little harder in the last few minutes of a 1-point game in a final.
Well, nothing's given. Nothing's easy. These are 2 teams that average 82 points per game, so they're well below their averages here.
Neighbor sets up a 3, and Neighbor knocks it down. Will Neighbor's 2nd triple of the game, and Cheshire lead by 4.
And you say it's harder to score once you get to this part of the game. And this is when the stars begin to shine. Players making plays, the experience. You see the distraught on Kieran Achara's face as
Mr. Impartial there.
Yeah.
That 3-point shot was a little bit disgusting though, wasn't it?
It was a little bit disgusting. Bailey misses. Rebound, Austin. And that's going to be a blocking foul on Sloan.
That's the thing, you know, the power of Larry Austin Jr. He won't be deterred from this as well. As soon as he gets the basketball, he's pushing the aggressor. And that'll be 5 fouls, team fouls now for Caledonia.
Now, this is what it's all about though, isn't it? 2 minutes to go. Your team is down 4. There's one fan who's not quite as nervous.
Yeah, that was about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. The faces in the crowd. Willing Larry Austin not to make 2 free throws here.
And I describe those faces as a look of worry as we get here to the nitty-gritty. 2 minutes left.
Well, he isn't the best free throw shooter in the league, Larry Austin. He's a 61% shooter on this season.
Wow. You just would think it was higher because he gets to the line so frequently.
It's about the same for his BBL career. He makes 1 for 2. 5-point lead. The defending Joel Anderson knocks it loose. It will stay with Caledonia.
Those are those little plays that can add to silverware. There's no accident why this guy's got 17 pieces of silverware in his cabinet.
And experience is always critical for these moments and usually a tribute to pulling you through.
Sloan. Out to Onwas, big shot, got it! Prince Onwas with the triple!
That's a big one, and that's an experienced journeyman. He's played all over the world, and he's been that glue guy, the glue guy that couldn't be any more valuable to this Gladiators team.
Evans. He attacks, gets all the way to the rim, he almost squeezed it! Austin on the offensive rebound, he's trapped! He goes up and down into the travel, it is a travel! And Caledonia have the ball back with 1:23 to go!
There was a Caledonia brick wall in the front of Larry Austin Jr. He couldn't get through it, he tried! Wow, big stuff!
Well, Gareth Murray virtually on the court there. They could do with him in the corner shooting threes.
I would bet on him to make it,
I would.
Even in his suit.
Ali Hodzic backing down Neighbour. Still going. And it's going to be a bump foul on Neighbour. It's on the floor. It's only the second against Cheshire in the quarter. Oh, he's gone for the reach.
Yeah. And that's a good foul, as you mentioned there. Cheshire with fouls to give, and we know once Ali Hodges gets there and gets inside the paint, it's usually 2 points. So let's take this thing out. Shot clock resets to 14, and let's play this back.
It is his fourth, though. Sloan for the lead. Oh, in and out. Minute to play in the final. Cheshire by 2 with the ball.
They got what they wanted. Their leading scorer curling off the screen just wasn't in the cards for them knocking down.
Evans driving hard, can score, rebound Austin, can score, Bailey with the rebound. Bailey off and running to Sloan, blocked by Neighbour. And it's a Caledonia ball.
Wow, the energy of both teams there. Bailey does a great job of penetrating, gives it up to Sloan. What a hands there from Will Neighbour. There's no body contact, just using his length there, and he gets enough on the ball to block it out of bounds. Will Neighbour coming up with a big defensive play.
Well, Gareth Murray will have to draw up the play of his life here. 34 seconds to go. In 2003, it was the likes of Ted Berry and Billy Singleton and Ryan Huntley. And, of course, Keith Bunyan, the older brother of Johnny, who were the heroes on the day. Is there a hero on the Caledonia benches tonight, or will these Cheshire Phoenix fans who had such an enjoyable journey back down the M6 a year ago do so again?
And I always say it's about players making plays during this part of the game, but now it's about coaches drawing up plays when it comes down to the X's and O's, and there's nobody better in the league in drawing up plays than Gareth Murray. Let's see what he has in his back pocket.
Well, there is nothing more nerve-wracking than sport like this. 35 seconds to go, one score separating the teams. Caledonia will have the ball from the end. And let's see what Gareth Murray has drawn up.
Players as well have to anticipate what's going to happen. If Caledonia don't score here, they've got to be in automatic foul mode. So it's the ability to be able to execute the play, but also the play after.
It's inside to Onwas, who ties the game with 31 seconds to go. And they're all on their feet here. Ben Thomas calls a timeout.
Wow, what a play there, and Onwas found himself wide open. It seemed to be no screen set. I don't know how he got so open. Like Kieran Ajara likes it.
And again, a great play drawn up by Coach Murray, and you said it, Onwas is the sticky tack, is the glue guy. No, he's a hooper, he's a winner, and making winning plays here down the stretch.
Wow, super glue acting like Superman there, that's a big play.
Well, Now it is the turn of Ben Thomas to draw up an important play for his team. But whatever happens with the shot clock differential here, Caledonia will get the ball back, assuming they don't give up an offensive rebound. So Gareth will be talking a little bit about what they want to do defensively, but also what happens if they secure a rebound off a missed shot.
And if I'm Cheshire, if Ben Thomas, I'm telling them to put your head down and attack the rim, because the Gladiators are in foul trouble, and I do not settle.
Well, I'm telling them to put their head down and attack the rim, because that's what they do best.
Exactly. Do not settle. Put the pressure, and don't be surprised if the Gladiators come out here with some kind of 1-3-1 or a zone.
Is he advancing the ball? The Knicks players are walking into the front court, so it is an advanced possession, which means there's only 14 on the shot clock for the Cheshire Phoenix.
That's huge. I'm taking the ball out and I'm milking some of that clock, giving myself some momentum to come down the court.
Well, they're waiting for the clock to get to zero from the timeout count. It's back there. 31 seconds remain in the ball game. Cheshire can use 14 of them. It's into Neighbor. Here's Evans.
2-3 zone from the Gladiators.
Teague, 4 on the shot clock. Teague for 3, misses. Anderson, can he get the rebound? It's just out of his reach. And 15.5 seconds to play. Gareth Murray, does he call a timeout? Yes, he does. He waited for a second. But Gareth Murray now has the moment here. This is the moment. If he can draw up a play for a score on the buzzer, a man who endured such heartache through his playing career can draw up a play to win for his team in the trophy final. And how close was Anderson to getting a rebound on this shot from Teague?
It's a great contest, wasn't it, from Durham? And as you say, Dan, is literally a fingernail away from being able to grab that ball in there for an offensive rebound. It's not to be, but it's now the Caledonia Gladiators who have that pole position. You see a couple of the Caledonia Gladiators female players enjoying the music and enjoying the scenes here, as many are in this building.
And if they can execute and get a bucket at the buzzer, like you just mentioned, Dan, this place will erupt. We've already seen it. Coach Murray able to drop a play offensively. Defensively, he combats it with the 2-3 zone. Does he have one more in the bag?
Well, 2019, it went to overtime. 2020, it went to overtime. It never in any final been to overtime in any competition before that. Could it be a third time? Gareth Murray will not advance the ball, even though he could to cut it, but he would give them 1.5 seconds back in theory. Well, it comes down to this. 15.5 seconds for Corey. Durham brings it cross midcourt. He's getting harassed by Evans. They still have fouls to give Cheshire. Here's Sloan to the basket. Out to Onwas. Sloan in the corner for the win. Oh! Can you believe it? David Sloan wins it on the buzzer. And the Caledonia Gladiators go wild.
Wow, they got exactly what they wanted. They got their leading scorer open in the corner. And this time, he delivered. David Sloan with the biggest shot of his professional career.
Well, you can't win in a better way than that. David Sloan, the hero of the hour, with no time left. He knocks down the 3 on the buzzer, and 20 years of hurt have been washed away for the Caledonia Gladiators. So many times they've been to a final and come up on the wrong end of it, but not today. Today they are the champions.
Wow, and it had to happen in Glasgow. Look at this. Between the legs, that slows the one who penetrates, he kicks out, but he doesn't stand still, he relocates. Defense lost him. The most dangerous man in the BBL right now is David Sloan. And he finds himself open in the corner and knocks it down. And those are the details you have to account for if you're Cheshire Phoenix.
When David Sloan is long since retired, he will play that over and over again. I think Kieran Achara will too. Here's the owner. What joy for him, just taken over the club, and suddenly they're on the winning side. They are the team celebrating. It's great days for Caledonia, the new arena on the horizon. But a trophy in the bag, and that is an incredible way to win. And what about Gareth Murray? We talked about the disappointment that he suffered through his career. Today will be the best day, surely, of his career.
He finally got it done, and he's done it as a coach. It didn't take him that long, did it, as a coach? I mean, already he's controlling the strings. He's made vast improvements to this Caledonia franchise since taking the helm as head coach. And wow, he's already got silverware as a head coach. Incredible,
Dan. He had
incredible.
2 timeouts. They needed to score on both of them. They scored on both of them.
Correct, and that's 2 things there. It's the creation and the design of the coach, but also the execution and delivery of the players.
Let's go back over to now.
Thanks, Dan. Well, we pulled Kieran Achara off the ceiling. We've got him back down on court. What's going through your head right now?
Yeah, it was a very strong performance by both teams. Battle to the end. No, it was a great game. I'm lost for words right now, but what a spectacle. You know, it's great for the fans, great for everybody. Go Gladiators.
Mike, there are ways to win a game and there are ways to win a game. What a finish. How clutch was David Sloan in that moment?
Oh my God, you know, just dangerous man in the league right now. With that shot in the corner, they lost him, and you kind of knew he was the guy that they were going to look to in that big moment. And hey, big-time players step up in big-time situations, and Sloan did today.
We talked about him at half-time. We said he wasn't having an impact on the game given the standard that he's played at. He's one of the players of the season in the league right now. He didn't impact a huge amount in the second half, and then to step up after a game like that and deliver a blow like that is sensational.
You talk about grit, you talk about resilience. He wasn't having the best of games, but stuck with it, played to the very end, and knocked down the game-winning shot. You can't ask for more than that.
Tell me, was it ever in doubt?
Definitely not. No, we had this. We had this.
Let's talk about Gareth Murray for a moment. He's somebody that you both know very well, of course, and the last couple of years, when he's been taking on the coaching responsibility, it's been as a player coach. And we've talked a lot in the last few years about the challenge that has posed. This year, he's hung them up, and Caledonia lands silverware. It proved to be the right decision, didn't it, Kieran?
You have to give Gareth Murray all the credit in the world. You know, he made that big play off the, the out of bounds for Prince Almas to get his winning score. Composed, he knew when to put the zone in at the right times tonight. He did a great job executing down the stretch. So yeah, you have to thank Gareth Murray for what he's doing here. You know, he will continue to build, but at the same time, he has to enjoy this. He's been wanting to win for so long, and it's taken him to turn to coach to be able to do that.
We can see what this win means to the players, and the pictures on the big screens now for the Gladiators fans to celebrate their heroes. Kieran, what will it mean to Gareth personally to land this trophy?
I always go on about belief, but he's got that belief now. You know, he's taken to coaching. I always knew he'd be a coach, great tactician as a player, but have the opportunity to step into head coaching role and win a trophy your first year when you've been craving it for so many. You know, the future's very bright for Gareth Murray.
Mike, we've got to give credit and pay praise to Cheshire, because they took this to the wire, and they're champions very much in their own right, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. You know, they came in with a game plan and they executed it so well. I think there was a few stretches in the second half where the Gladiators, you know, got back, but they still had that lead going into that last minute. But these, you know, the Gladiators, tough effort on both ends of the floor, and they gave themselves an opportunity for that last shot, and they made it. But you've got to take your hats off to Cheshire. They fought hard tonight.
Do you feel that the game was running away from Caledonia the last couple of minutes? Did you feel that it was one step too far? Were you surprised that they clawed it back?
Well, yeah, I mean, me and Kieran were sitting on the sidelines, and we were like, oh, I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it out, but I think the defensive effort for them, and then making that big play towards the end of the game, well, two plays, the on score off the inbound, and then obviously that last second shot were the 2 plays of the game to seal for them.
So right now the BBL CEO, Aaron Radin, is talking to and addressing the crowd here at the Emirates, celebrating both sets of competitors. It has been an absolute showpiece for the British Basketball League once again. And a big round of applause for the CEO as we get closer to the trophy presentations. What is this win, Kieran, going to mean to these fans?
Well, if you've never watched a game of basketball, I guarantee they're hooked after this one. So the fans have been, like I said, craving this for so long, and they hopefully to start so many to come. But I have to give a big shout to the Cheshire Knicks fans. They've been so loud, you would even think it was an away game for them. And I've been in that situation many a time. No, they have to keep their heads up high. They've had a great final.
Alrighty, there are the aforementioned Cheshire Knicks fans. Knicks Nation have been absolutely brilliant this afternoon once again, and very respectfully applauding both teams at the end of the game. They know they've witnessed a great game of basketball, an absolute thriller going down to the wire, and it's brutal, Mike, when a team has to be on the wrong end of a game like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy who's won the trophy final, and I'm a guy who's lost the trophy final, so I feel their pain right now. It's tough when you fight through all these stages, you get to the day, a huge event, and especially to lose like this on a last-second shot. I feel like they did so many things right, except that the one little mistake at the end, losing Sloan and giving them the chance to shoot that open shot. But you got to take their hats off them again. Like, they played hard. They didn't make it easy today.
They got a strong foundation there. Ben Thomas, their coach, and the Phoenix will be back. Right, let's hand back over to Anna Dan for the trophy presentation.
Thank you very much. Now, yes, Ben Thomas shaking the hand of everybody on the Gladiators team to congratulate them. He knows what this moment is like. That's his first defeat in a final. He'd won his previous 2. But for the Gladiators, this is the moment. It's been 20 years since that playoff win, the days of Ted Berry and Billy Singleton and Ryan Huntley and co. And now these names will go alongside those. And one name that will go very nicely alongside will be Johnny Bunyan, whose brother, of course, Keith, was in that playoff team 20 years ago. And of course, he is the captain today, Johnny, so he will get his hands on the trophy first. But for these players, for many players, a lot of really great players don't get the opportunity to win silverware like this. Tell us what it's like, Andy.
Well, Dan, on that point, you get excellent players with excellent resumes that don't win anything their whole career. Gareth Murray is one of them, a prime example of a player who's decorated in the British basketball, was never able to lift silverware as a player. But as a coach, he's already done it. It was year 2, 2.5, and remarkable. This Caledonia Gladiators franchise has now got a piece of silverware. There's going to be no more stories from us saying they haven't won anything in 20 years. They've done it.
Well, they're absolutely mobbing Bailey in the middle. He's named MVP, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. A great game from Jeremiah Bailey for the MVP.
Yeah, excellent performance from him. I thought he was stellar, and I think when you look at down the list, this was a team performance, and I think Bailey will credit his teammates as well. It was Bailey that carried the load for a proportion of that game, but there's some other key players on that team that played their crucial parts in today's victory.
Well, they will stand behind the banner, and Johnny Bunyan, like his brother 20 years ago, holds aloft the Scottish flag. He goes to the CEO, Aaron Radian, and he will pose for the cameras. A big smile on Johnny Bunyan's face, and he will now make sure that every camera sees him before he takes that trophy away. He'll give it a kiss and hold it aloft. The Caledonia Gladiators are the 2023 trophy champions.
And the scenes here as well, Dan. This is a crowd of people that haven't seen this in 2 decades. And now they get to watch their team do it on Scottish soil. This will forever be etched into the record books.
Well, what a moment for Johnny Bunyan. We talked about his dad and the impact he's had on Scottish basketball as well, and the whole of the Bunyan family. And it's just an incredible day for this club that has endured a lot over the last 20 years in between those two successes. But how tonight they will celebrate.
Oh, they'll celebrate indeed, and you've got that positive feeling here as well. If you're in this building right now, it's hard to articulate, but you can just see what this means to everyone in this building and the pride that they've got in their Caledonia Gladiators that not only have made a staple today, but they've got a very optimistic future. There's building plans, there's expansion plans here. The future is extremely bright and optimistic for this franchise.
It certainly is, and the near future is very bright as well, because they will thoroughly enjoy themselves this evening. The crowd is still milking it here, the players enjoying the scenes, and these are the moments. And there is the man who caused the raptures with the shot for the ages in Caledonia Gladiators basketball. That highlight will be writ large across the history of this club. They will be playing that shot back in 20 years' time, no doubt about it. They will hope it is the beginning of a golden era for this club. But what an incredible moment and an incredible shot. There is no better way to win the game as the lights go off on the scoreboard. And look at the smile on Gareth Murray's face. He's a man who sort of hides it away a lot.
He doesn't smile very often, Dan. He doesn't smile very often. He's always had that ability to control his emotions in that regard. And, you know, this Caledonia Gladiators as well, remember the road that they had to get here. They were the ones that knocked off the favourites, the London Lions. Again, on Scottish soil. They're pretty good in this country, aren't they?
They certainly are. And they've been pushed to the limit by the defending champions, but it is they who are singing, and this is a great Scottish celebration anthem. They're all joining in with it, from the owner to the players to the fans and everyone.
Steve Timoney, the Caledonia owner. We talked about at the top of the show, Kieran, the ambition for this franchise. There's going to be a new arena. There's money coming in now, which will inevitably mean extra range for players across Europe. What's the ceiling for this club now they've won a trophy?
Well, I guess just to sniff it before you come in and inherit the club after 1 year and you go in and win something. But this was never the end goal. You know, this is just the beginning, you know, and for the Gladiators right now, I'm sure seeing the crowd, the Timonies are probably more focused than they ever have been to continue this and keep growing and get into the European ranks.
I just want you to soak this in at home, because the roof is coming off here at the Emirates. Incredible scenes, Mike. It's spine-tingling, aren't they?
Oh, man, yeah. It doesn't get better than this. Like, what a perfect example of what British basketball is. And, you know, up here, you know, Caledonia Gladiators, you know, obviously they represent Glasgow, but they represent Scotland as a country. So for them, this isn't just for the city of Glasgow. This is for the entire country. And, you know, you take the high road, I'll take the low. You know, you're getting all the feels right now.
And that is a great point, because we're talking about the British Basketball League. How integral is it to the success of the league and the development that there is a big franchise in Scotland that's winning things?
Oh yeah, no, this is huge. You know, we talk about you know, so much of the attention is usually down in England, but Scotland now is part of it, and we're looking to expand and get bigger. And to see Scotland win something like this will open up the eyes of the fans up here that it's possible.
Kieran, I know there's a lot of emotions running through your head right now, But if you can, cast your mind back to the last couple of hours, and in particular some of the key performances from the Gladiators that really stood out for you this afternoon.
Yeah, so for me, David Sloan got off to a really slow start. Obviously made the big shot at the end, but it just, Fraser Malcolm, contributing, knocking down big shots. Tappy playing through injuries, getting the big stop, the big rebound. You had Jeremiah Bailey coming up clutch, making some big threes. Everyone's contributed today, and I think that's the thing. When I'm looking at a Gladiators team, they all had to work together to come out with this win, and when they did,
it was very much a team win, very much a roster win. But there is one MVP, and he had a sensational afternoon. Jeremiah Bailey is courtside now with Drew.
Jeremiah, this place is rocking. I can feel it in my veins. Describe this.
Man, the energy's crazy. It's actually, wild. It's, as you can see, loud. The whole game, you can hear the fans going crazy, cheering, screaming, boos and yells. It was fun. It was a lot of energy for us to actually take into the game and come out with this win today.
And we talked about it. You can be the difference as you hold that MVP ball. You got yourself going in the second half. How was you able to put your imprint on this game?
Man, honestly, I'm just going to say the defense that we had to play the second half was huge. We needed stops. That's how this game was made. We need to play all the way through to the end. The last buzzer, we say, you got to play through, you got to play defense. And, man, that's what came out today. That was one of the games.
And you are a champion. How's it feel?
Man, honestly, this is great for the club. Honestly, I'm a rookie. I'm a rookie here. This is my first year, and honestly, we brought something special back to the organization. It's my first year, and I'm excited. And it means so much. Again, this team was great. We came out today, and this organization's only going to move in the biggest of storms. It's only up from here, man.
These moments don't come around every day. Soak up every ounce of it, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Delighted to have been joined now by Gareth Murray and the Timonies. Congratulations. What is going through your head right now?
So happy for the guys. We work hard every year, and this is a reward for it. It's been a long time coming for Glasgow to win a trophy, so we're really happy that a couple of years ago, I talked on Sky many times about the difficulties of COVID. We didn't really have much of a team. I told you we'd be back here soon. 2 years later, we're here winning. This is what it's all about for me.
What does it mean to win this trophy in front of these fans?
Oh, it was amazing. The atmosphere was great today. I know it was a close game, right? One last-second shot. Everything was perfect for us. The setting in Glasgow, new ownership, new Caledonia Gladiators, everything was just perfect.
And speaking of new ownership, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's the way to win a trophy, right?
It was certainly exciting. I'm not sure if I wouldn't have traded off for a 30-point lead, but my goodness, that was exciting stuff, absolutely tremendous.
Now, I'm being asked to ask you a story about a sword.
Yeah, you see it coming out there. We had a wee motivational talk with the chaps earlier on. I wanted something to symbolise what we stood for, that it's bigger than the club, that it's bigger than basketball, that it's about Scotland, it's about the people of Scotland. And that sword that you see on that screen was a symbol to remind us, if our backs were to the wall, that we should come together for something bigger than basketball. They've done it today. The sword had to come out. That's a symbol that brings us together.
And that is what's really impressive, isn't it, about the way this game was won? Because at half-time it was close. No. At half-time it was tight.
Yeah, it was,
never let go.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just the last 10 minutes of that game was just nail-biting. I couldn't look up, to be honest with you, but I'm delighted and I'm absolutely amazing for the team, for the coaches, for everybody involved, because we've been working hard behind the scenes, but these guys deserve that.
I can assure you it was nail-biting watching this game with Kieran Achara. We've actually got some footage now that we can run. This is some of Kieran's emotions during the final few minutes of that game. Let's take a look at this. Kieran, talk us through this, Kieran. I want you to analyse this. That could be play of the day. Things weren't going well then. We're back in there. Wow. That must have been the David. Yeah, that was the winning shot. Of course it was.
You can't hide being Scottish, Kieran. You can't hide being Scottish. You're tearing up there. Fantastic.
Oh.
Impartial. I'm impartial.
Done really well to get this far without welling up, big man. So congratulations. It was incredible to watch it with all these fans, Gareth.
Yeah.
right in the aftermath of victory, please forgive me this question, but what next? What's the ceiling for this club? Where do you want to go next?
Oh, well, we have big plans. Steve and Allison have come here with big plans. When you saw the announcement of the arena for coming this summer, a big 6,000 in 2 or 3 years' time. We've got big plans for this club. We want to have one of the biggest and best clubs in the UK, if not in Europe. We have ambitions of playing in European competition, men and women. We want to be, this is one of the best clubs in the UK, like I said, all the way through the pathways. The community is a big part of what we do in Glasgow and Scotland also. So we just, there's no ceiling right now. We don't know where the ceiling is. We just want to keep growing and growing. And we've got to thank Steve and Allison for coming in and doing that and giving us that. We always had the visions. We've always had dreams. I talked with Kieran over the years about where we could take formerly Glasgow Rocks and the only professional sports team, basketball team in Scotland. And now we've got somebody that sees that dream and sees that vision as helping it become a reality.
Congratulations to the three of you. You've got plenty of fans to go and celebrate this moment with. Brilliant stuff. And thanks for taking time to join us as we take a look now at that moment. Once again, you've got to wait for this bit. The final moment of the game. And David Sloan with the winner. Mike Tuck, talk us through this one.
Yeah, great patience here as you see the play drawn up. Sloan had to kick it out, and they ended up losing him on there. Big shot from the corner, and that's game over right there. David Sloan showing up. Big shot, big-time players step up in big-time situations, and Sloan was that guy tonight.
Something tells me we're going to be watching this shot over and over again. If that isn't play of the week next week, Kieran Achara, something is wrong.
That play was absolutely disgusting.
had to get it in. And David Sloan, the man of the moment, the man who dropped one of the most important shots in franchise history, is courtside now with Drew.
It's a tie ball game. You're walking back on the court. Walk us through that final possession.
I set my teammate up. He didn't think he had a shot, so I ran back around and he got me the shot. And when it left my hand, I knew it was going in. But just the adversity, and we stuck together as a team. So I felt like we deserved this win. And just me personally, I lost somebody the other day on Friday to a heart attack. So I wanted to dedicate this game to him.
Well, you have definitely done that. What was going through your mind as the ball left your fingertips?
Just this shot's going in. Every shot that I shoot, I feel like that's what's going on. But a couple shots that I usually make came off the rim, but I just stayed confident and stayed true to myself.
And the fella said it there. That will be a play that will be played 20 years from now. What does it feel like to be a champion?
It feels amazing. Words can't explain how I feel right now, but it feels amazing to be a champion.
And you saw the environment in here. It feels like a party. What does this mean? 20 years, what does this mean to the fans?
It means a lot. You can see throughout the game, they was there with us the whole time. They're part of the reason why we end up coming out with that win. Even when we got down, they got louder. So they held us together at the end of the day.
Well, David, I'll be old and gray, and I'll still be seeing that shot go on the telly. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.
I don't know about old and grey. I think you might have picked up a few grey hairs in the last few minutes of that one.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually at Mike Tuck there and thinking, some of us already are old and grey, but
all natural, baby, all natural here.
Mike, final thoughts on this. I mean, it's such an emotional afternoon. It's going to take a while, I think, to come down for Caledonia for that one.
Well, definitely for Kieran here. He's welling up over here. But, like, for this team, what the fairy tale ending, right? The team hasn't won in 20 years. We're here in their home turf, and they end up winning it in front of a sold-out crowd. You couldn't have wrote this better.
Got to give you the last word this afternoon, Kieran.
All I can say is wow. I think it was a great game. Like I said, me being Mr. Impartial, just a great spectacle for British basketball.
Yeah, well said. It really, really was. What a fantastic afternoon we have had once again. Another standout day in the British basketball calendar. The game lived up to the hype and then some. But there's plenty more where that came from. We turn our attention back to the BBL Championship, where, if results go their way, the London Lions can secure the title live here on Sky Sports next Friday night. That is Friday, March the 31st. Lions, Scorchers, Sky Sports action, and as ever, Sky Sports YouTube. Join us from 7:30. Right, we need to get Kieran an ice bath, a flotation chamber, some candles, and calm him down. It has been a sensational afternoon of basketball here at the Emirates in Glasgow. Congratulations to the London Lions winning the WBBL trophy, and then, of course, the Caledonia Gladiators on their home court getting the job done. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Yeah, the show has arrived. Yeah, the show has arrived. Yeah, the show has arrived. Yeah. We marching like soldiers, man, it's getting heavy, that's part of the quota. Slapping you dead, cause we getting closer. They pulling straight, so we taking over. Know how this party go, gotta run it around like it's cardio. We the champions, then if they gotta go. If they gotta go, then it's adios. Yeah, the show has arrived. Yeah. We marching like soldiers, man, it's getting heavy, that's part of the quota. Slapping you dead, cause we getting closer. They pulling straight, so we taking over. Know how this party go, gotta run it around like it's cardio. We the champions, then if they gotta go. If they gotta go, then it's adios. Sloan in the corner for the